Hello, my name is Rirchard Harris, and I'm the theme leader for looking at the role and importance of foreign direct investment into the UK, and more generally capital and investment markets and their impact on productivity. The UK economy is very open, and we know that both domestic as well as international trade and foreign direct investment in principle both play key roles as drivers of UK productivity. As well as covering the importance of inward and outward FDI in terms of its impact on UK productivity, we shall also look at exports and imports in driving productivity and access to finance, consideration of firm investment in physical and intangible capital, physical capital allowing firms to update production techniques and introduce new and better products, while intangible capital is about incorporating knowledge and dynamic capabilities. The theme also covers the particular and important role that geography has in understanding productivity issues, both from the perspective that different areas have different mixes of firms with different productivity distributions, affecting average productivity levels in those areas, and that spatial location itself matters because of the potential for agglomeration or clustering effects through spillovers of knowledge and expertise. Internal analysis undertaken by the Business Growth Directorate at the Department of Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy places particular emphasis on the distribution of firm-level productivity. It shows that the gap in productivity between leader-laggard firms is greater in the UK, and that productivity dispersion across all regions, sectors and sizes of business in the UK, although larger and all foreign-owned firms operating in more competitive markets have on average higher productivity. Hence, I expect the analysis that will be undertaken for this theme will emphasise the use of firm-level data that brings out the large differences between firms operating in different sectors, locations, and under different forms of ownership. This is because previous work suggests that looking at firm and plant level data, where we can look at the distribution of productivity, is most likely to help with understanding the productivity puzzle in the UK, and that there is still much evidence to understand more fully the importance of the mix of plants and firms in terms of sectors, size, location, their characteristics such as ownership, engagement in productivity enhancing activities such as R&D and exporting, as well as under-researched areas such as the importance of relocation across different firms, including churn and the presence of zombie firms, and in particular credit rationing, and intangible factors such as management practices and investment in knowledge creation, and more research on what caused the slowdown in productivity post the mid-2000s, what happened specifically due to the financial crash, that is, the cause of the post-2007 productivity shock, and what determines the rate of diffusion of new technologies that will improve productivity in the future. The gap analysis I recently undertook identifies the need for significantly extending early analyses of the determinants of productivity, taking account of the following: the motivation driving firms' engagement in FDI and trade and its impact on productivity, including greenfield and brownfield, technology sourcing versus exploitation, direct and indirect spillover effects, entry effects, and the impact on competition, with a particular emphasis on explaining spatial differences across various UK sectors, with associated likely branch plant effects. The importance of investment in knowledge, intangible assets, firms' absorptive capacity, innovation outputs, and how these relate to TFP, and whether there are significant differences across sectors and spatial locations. The role of competition, firm entry and exit, that is Schumpeter-type churning, past and future trends in globalization and regulation, including the impact of Brexit on productivity, accounting for likely different responses across sectors and spatial locations. Further understanding of the specific shock effect of the Great Recession on UK productivity, both to understand its causes, whether it has resulted in permanent changes in productivity, and to build resilience for the future. The extent to which location, such as clustering and agglomeration, and hence a wide range of spillover effects impact on productivity using new approaches, and looking at why some locations have more leader frontier firms compared to others. Although harder to include because of data limitations in the UK, we also need to look at the short and long run importance of finance in determining productivity and the importance of zombie firms, the importance of management practices and changing business models on productivity. Finally, comparisons with other countries would significantly help to understand the results found using British data. Taking Germany as a comparator would be especially useful if access to comparable microdata could be obtained. And understanding work that can directly feed into policy, such as the current UK industrial strategy, would be especially beneficial. So I hope you can get a sense of the breadth and depth that this sub-theme of FDI capital and investment markets will cover. Your input through ideas and contribution in the network is welcomed. Thank you.